What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Wednesday, June 23rd to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio, coming off a nice winning day. Pasafed out of NHL and NBA. When Montreal was rolling, it really came as no surprise from our breakdown. But I've been doing so bad in playoffs, I just didn't want to put my stink on the Habs. I stayed off of NBA, and I'm thankful. That market move from 6 to 4.5 when the public was all over the Suns kept me off the Suns. And it was a wild finish. And we have Bucks-Hawks tonight. Bucks-Hawks tonight. We have Trotwam joining us from the Westgate Casino in Las Vegas. We have Mr. Gogster joining us for an enormous Game 6 at Nassau Coliseum. It could be the final game the Islanders play in Nassau Coliseum. And we're rolling. We're rolling in MLB. TAINT cashed easily. Giants plus 110. Beautiful work. He's now 30-16, hitting at 65.2%. I'll review my action and the legend Lodos Loshak's action right before we start breaking down MLB. But first, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the chat. Truly, we have nothing without your support, and the chat is what drives this show. It's us all working together to defeat the Juice. Jacksonville Zoe in the house. Rocky Teasley. What up, Rocky? Ready to get to work. Matty Ice started TAINT play of the day right there. Mikey Knuckles says, can't wait to get some winners today. Yesterday was rough. Yesterday I feel very comfortable right now. I'm seeing things clearly, and I can't wait to attack this card. And there's a bunch of moves I almost made, but I thought I'd be better off if I talked about with you. I've only made one bet, and that was Oakland A's -1 full game, and that's the only bet I'm going to make on the A's today. I'm not going to double up on the first 5. I know Fulton-Avich is vulnerable, but I also think that the best case scenario for starting pitchers is when they have multiple starts at home. And we've seen Fulton-Avich have a great start at home. It was about 5 starts ago. He went 7 innings. He shut down the Houston Astros. And now he gets a second consecutive start at home. It wouldn't shock me if he has an okay start. And I'm not going to sit here and double up in spots when it seems a little too easy. Bleds W in the house. Raymond Reddington. Look at this. Hustle Wilson coming from NOLA, doing just that, hustling. We got Nilo in the house. Patrick Peebles, Al Quintana saying Leche, the bookmakers. That's right. That's right. Dennis Garcia ready to get to work. By the way, we have the Razor Sharp Picks horse racing show tonight at 7:30. I'm going to pop on late once the kids get to bed and I've got enough work done on tomorrow's card. I'm going to hop out for the last 4 races at Emerald, last 3 races at Assiniboia, last race at Canterbury, that kind of thing. We got Keon Jackson in the house that I had to pick 3 yesterday. Astros, A's, Cubs, team total over 5. Nice job, Keon. Alex Gagnon ready to get to work. We got North Ender saying, go Habs, go. This is just what happens when a hockey team comes together. They're playing very good hockey. Very, very good hockey. And if it is a Habs Lightning Stanley Cup final, we're in for an absolute treat. There's Turnsey, the Rusty Cunts play of the day, the most famous Detroit Tiger of all time. Cashed. It was the first Rusty Cunts play of the day. And it cashed from our man Turnsey. Nilo says tailed Max with the White Sox today. 1.5 -105 is a great play. I don't disagree with it at all. The fact that Dylan Cease looked so bad last start may not be a sticky substance issue. It may be the fact that the Astros are very, very tough to throw against. The fact that the Pirates have this White Sox team's number is strange. I don't think it's a bad play at all. And Maxey's running hot, so I would stick with Maxey. Wyatt Chapman ready to go. Tyrone Coleman ready to eat. There's Fap win. Whip out the confetti, my man. Fulton Navich, a.k.a. ATM Machines, playing my best bet today. Oakland alternative run line -2.5. I love hearing that. because I'm just on the -1 and -128. There's David Summers in the house, says Matty Ice, best financial advisor ever. All right. It's time to get to work. Puzzler ready to go. Serious business in the house. Von Polo went perfect yesterday, including San Francisco. I love hearing that. Von Polo, my guy. Hopefully you can join our horse racing show tonight. There's Turnsey. That was the Rusty Kuntz. Rusty Cunt play of the day, under 224.5. Named after the greatest Detroit Tiger of all time. There's Razor Sharp picks, 5-2 in his gambler's first glance. He cashed with the Tigers yesterday, going for 3 in a row today. Attaboy, Razor. Great stuff, and I can't wait. And North Ender says, I appreciate you not putting your stink on the Habs to me. Yes, I almost very quietly, just alone in the corner, bet on the Habs. And I was like, you know what? Just leave your stink off of this. You're running. So just focus on baseball. You're eating in baseball. That's what I've been doing. Lance LaRose ready to go. Jim Nation ready to eat. Gerald Jones, Danny A. Okay, we got a great group, and we've got a ton of work to do. So let's get after it right now. Ronnie Lofton in the house. Great to see you. Luke Murphy, esteemed author in the chat. DC ready to go. Eric Thomas. Coco Bongo coming to us from Van City. Rocky Meniketti. Great group. Eric Thomas. Nutflush Allen, who was live at the Giants game. Nutflush cashed on the Giants -1.5. Renee ready to go. That Giants game today is absolutely spectacular, and it's the most. I'm extremely excited to break it down. Walla Dose. Dav Fenn. Piker in the house. The real life bot. Oh, Trey Franklin. Trey, my guy. All right, Trey, what up, man? Great to see you. All right, let's get to work. And Slat says, massive game for the Habs last night. 3-1 for me in the NHL. Game 6 back in Montreal, national holiday in Quebec. Streets are closing no matter what happens. Yeah, it's just the greatest thing. Look, I'm a hockey fan. And as much as I don't want to see the Habs flourish, I have many friends who are enjoying this enormously, and I'm very happy that they get a chance to enjoy it. Melvin Batanzas in the house. Okay, let's get to work. But first, let's give a shout out to Don't Ask, Don't Tell. This guy with a dono every day, he just supports us, and it means so much. He says, I want to eat up that taint like Kabashi. All right, time to get to work. Uncle Oliver in the house. Okay, so quick review of yesterday. First, our man Lodol's Loshak from a capping standpoint, he had an excellent day. The 5 moves he went official with, he was down 0.3 units. So he went just barely lost. And he lost the birthday pick, which upset him so much because he cares about us so much. I mean, when he gave out the birthday pick and he can't sleep because he messaged me at 3 a.m. White Sox, Pittsburgh, first half over 4 was a loser. Rays, full game money line. -121, a loser. Rays first half team total over 1.5, a winner. Giants first half team total over 1.5, a winner. And Montreal Vegas over 5 was a push. But again, his leans were spectacular. His leans were up 5.26 units. Reds Twins under 9 was a loser. White Sox first half team total over 2.5 and full game over 4.5, loser. Astros full game -1, a casher. Astros first half team total over 2.5, a loser. Royals full game money line +242, casher. Royals Yanks over 7.5, a casher. Mets full game money line was a loser. Rays full game team total over 3.5, a casher. Tigers full game money line, casher. Indians Cubs full game under 8.5, casher. Giants first half money line, casher. Giants full game money line, casher. Mariners full game money line, win. So his breakdowns were, as always, exceptional. Joey Work in the house. Great to see you, Joey. Work in the house. What a spectacular capper he is. And for me, we've hit our high water mark again. We went 5-2 with 2 pushes, so 9 bets, 5-2. Rays was a loss. Brewers -1 cash. Rays first 5, a push. White Sox Pittsburgh first 5 over 4 was a loss. Tigers first 5 cash. Milwaukee Arizona first 5 under 4 cash. Giants +110 taint play today cash. Mariners -1 was a push, and Dodgers Padres first 5 under 3.5 was a catcher. There's Ilya Katz in the house. So 5-2 plus 2.80 units. We're 167 wins, 135 losses. We're sitting 32 games over 500, hitting at 55.3%. But the VIG is dangerous in MLB, and my average line is -112. So we're up 14.59 units, ROI +4.83%. And I'm thankful I believe we are seeing things clearly. Let's now attack the board. There's DJ Big Boss in the house. Let's go. Paya Palaya in the house. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. New commenter. Great to see you. All right. It's all about the work. It will always be about the work. And we work together to defeat the juice. Let's attack. There's Nasty Nate ready to go. 12:35 p.m. Eastern. Chicago White Sox 43-30, 16-18 on the road at Pittsburgh Pirates 26-45, 16-20 at home. We're at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 65 Fahrenheit, clear, 4 miles per hour, sideways in. And Austin coming in says, first time being able to catch show live in forever. Let's hammer this taint today, fellas. Thank you, Austin. Much love to you. Thank you for the support and good vibes here. Now let's turn these good vibes into hard work and cash. 65 Fahrenheit, clear, 4 miles per hour, sideways in. We have Dylan Cease, 5-3, 3.99 ERA, 1.30 whip, 70 innings, 89 Ks, 31 walks, 7 home runs. And I tread with caution. Pete talked about that yesterday. It's hard to understand whether Dylan Cease's last couple performances have come due to this spider tack or sticky stuff situation, or just going up against hot offenses. His last start, he went 3 1/3, allowed 4 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them earned, 1 home run, 2 walks, 4 Ks in a 10-2 loss at Houston. Going up against Chase DeYoung, 0-1, 4.26 ERA, 1.42 whip, 19 innings, 17 Ks, 9 walks, 4 home runs. His last start was at Washington. He went 4 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 3-1 loss. White Sox first righties, not that strong. 241, 707 OPS. Pirates first righties. Pirates and Brewers and Diamondbacks are the worst 3 teams in the league against righties. 231, 655 OPS. White Sox bullpen, 3.72 ERA, 1.28 whip, 20 of 34 save opportunities locked in. Pirates bullpen, 4.01 ERA, 1.26 ERA. They've converted 10 of 14 save opportunities. Viper MB says on White Sox, -1 there, 20-9 after a loss. There's the Sweaty Butcher in the house. Piker says, money on Pirates again early. You can see it across the books. White Sox couldn't even beat them with an opposing lefty on the mound. 6 straight losses. White Sox are stay away right now. And Marco Lou says, sports betting going to be legal in Canada means single game wagering. Yes, it is. And we're all very, 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 very excited. Jefferson C saying holiday in Quebec tomorrow for game 6 going to be wild. It's going to be absolutely nuts. And we deserve it. And Montreal deserves it. They've earned this. They've earned this with great play. And they're a tough team to play against right now. But winning the final game to get to the Stanley Cup final is very difficult. There's sharp money in the house coming to us from Malta. What up, my man? Okay. So let's take a look at the pitcher versus batter data and then decide exactly what we want to do, if anything, here. We do know that Max is backing the White Sox. On the run line, Dylan Cease against these Pirates, small sample size, 4 for 13 with a triple, 308, 769 OPS, and Chase DeYoung's only seen Moncada and Goodwin 1 for 5 there. The market move here on the first 5 has gone. Let's go to Bookmaker right now. See what they've done. So Pittsburgh's just become a bigger dog and a bigger dog over at Bookmaker. They open up at plus 130. They quickly go to plus 160. They're sitting at plus 151 right now. That's first 5. From a totals perspective, the over was 4.5 at minus 120. Now it's at minus 112. So let's move over to full game and see what we are dealing with. Ralph Portwanda says White Sox run line for our guy, Ralph Portwanda. He's also on Houston or run line. Okay, so let's see what we got. So we have Ralph Portwanda and Max on the same spot here with the White Sox in afternoon action. They open up at minus 156 at Pinnacle. They're now at minus 165, a 9-cent move towards them. And this over was at 8, and it's now at 8.5. Very, very interesting. Marco Lou says, if you had a futures bet in the NBA championship that is still live, you must be getting paid huge. No doubt about it. Uncle Oliver, White Sox first 5, Tigers money line, first 5, Marlins first 5 money line. Okay, so let's see where the cash is at and how many tickets are in. We have 7,137 tickets in. So that's a nice amount to work with. 90% of the money line tickets on the White Sox, on the tickets, 92% of the cash. Then you have 53% of the tickets and 67% of the cash on the over. And there's certain things that I need to check off if I'm going to be backing a big favorite. And by no means do I say those of you who are on the White Sox are on the wrong side. I'm just not going to back Cease after that last start, and he's not looked very good lately, and I can't pinpoint exactly why that is. I also can't back the White Sox when the Pirates are beating them up right now. David Summers, that is from Sports Insights. Sports Insights. The Frosty 8 is on the White Sox -1.5. DC contrarian pick on the Bucks. JT says, Jimmy, I like the Pirates play as well. And Pete Loshak in the house too. Great to have Pete rolling with us, man. What a huge asset he is. How much fun is it to have him every Tuesday? And hopefully we can get him more as we move forward. What a guy. Okay. So no move for me in White Sox Pirates. No move for me. We move on to 1:05 p.m. Eastern. The Frosty says revenge spot for White Sox, snap losing streak. They've lost 6 in a row to the Pirates. So you could have used that same ideology and it would have cost you a ton of money. Sharpie says White Sox had their B line up in yesterday. It should be their A lineup. Thank you, Pistol Pete. Thank you. And you know what? With the Brewers, with all the interesting market moves, it did end up telling me I thought that Zach Gallen was going to have a good start. So I did add the first 5 under 4. So I do feel like we're reading the market appropriately and working well. Okay. And Nilo says, Peter Loshak, saving lives, parting seas, kissing babies. Can take up some time. Love that you're back. Okay, so you guys are saying that the A lineup is in today. Look, they need a win. They need a win badly. Let's just see what that lineup is very quickly. Very, very quickly here. And it's going to pop up. Here we go. We have confirmed lineups for the White Sox. Anderson, Moncada, Abreu, Lamb, Grandal, Goodwin, Garcia, Gonzalez. And then they have the pitcher spot, which hurts them badly. And then Frazier, Hayes, Reynolds, Moran, Polanco, Gamble, Newman, Perez, DeYoung. Ronnie Ryland says White Sox got a weak lineup today. They just brought up somebody from the minor league batting 8th today. Jorge Gonzalez says, is this a White Sox slump or is this a Pittsburgh streak? I tell you what it is. It's a spot that makes me uncomfortable. And there's no doubt about this. For me, it's Pirates or nothing, and I'm very comfortable with nothing. Okay. Let's move on to 1:05 p.m. Eastern. Washington Nationals 34-36, 13-18 on the road at the Philadelphia Phillies, 34-36, 21-13 at home. We're at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 70 Fahrenheit clear, 5 miles per hour in. Eric Fedde. Man, I want to back Eric Fedde. I want to back him bad. He's been paying us out and paying us out. He hasn't allowed a run in the last 3 starts. His last 2 starts were at home, and now he goes out on the road, and he goes up against somebody who has my number in Vince Velasquez, who I've just been staying away from. This guy's taken enough money from me over the years, but I want to back Fedde. 4-4, 3.33 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 51 in the third, 49 Ks, 22 walks, 5 home runs. Fedde in his last start went 7 innings, allowed 2 hits, 0 runs, 4 walks, 6 Ks, and a 1-0 win at home versus the Mets. Viper says Fedde is a bump. Slat says Fedde 20 straight scoreless innings under 8-0-1 in the last 9 starts. Gerald Jones says Fedde being fire. Piker says Nats Phils are teams that beat each other up at home. Neither one fares particularly well in their opponent's park. Lean Phils, but tough to go against a team winning 8 of 10. Joy Work says Fedde day. All right. Patrick People says Nationals all day. Von Polo on the Nats. Mike M says love seeing Girardi toss, but don't need to see any pictures. Hogs due to the attack. Yeah, that was wild. Pulls his belt out. Girardi looked tough. He looked very tough when he was let's go to Max. Okay. Sharp Money says anyone wanting action on Euros, take Slovakia, draw, no bet. Spain looking average. Viper says Toll's gone under in 6 of Philadelphia's last 7 games when playing Washington. And Wesley saying White Sox bring up Yoenis Cespedes' brother for the minors today. Okay. He's not in the starting lineup, but that's exciting. Thank you for sharing that, Wesley. Jerry Beatty says, what is Fetty's XFIP? I will have to put up fan graphs for that. I don't have that up right now, Jerry. If you want to grab that, I don't have fan graphs up right now. Vince Velasquez, 2-2, 4.44 ERA, 1.42 whip, 52 2/3, 59 Ks, 31 walks, 10 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 innings. He allowed 4 hits, 4 runs. 3 of them were earned, 4 walks, 2 Ks, and a 5-3 win at the Giants. Now he comes back home. What do we do with that? The Giants are smashing everybody right now. Nats are hitting just 243, 696 OPS versus righties. That's better than what the Phillies are doing, 231, 674 OPS. I came so close to betting this. a few different times. Jorge Gonzalez is under repeat from yesterday. Decent line, total at 9. We're going to go over all that right now. Nats bullpen 3.71 ERA, 1.22 whip, converted 16 of 23. Phillies bullpen 4.36 ERA, 1.33 whip, converted 15 of 29. Alexander Sosa on Nats first 5 money line. And the Rusty Cunts play of the day. First period under 1.5. First period under 1.5 for the Rusty Cunts play of the day. I'm going to pop that in here under our NHL spot that Mr. Gokster will be joining us with. Okay. So let's take a look at the odds in this spot. This total opens up at 8.5 and it goes to 9. Velasquez opens up as a slight favorite, and it really hasn't moved. Pinnacle still has him at -106. A couple books have moved. It hasn't moved. Let's go to baseball data here. We have Fetty. They're hitting 233 with an 861 OPS against Fetty. So you can assume that a lot of the big offensive numbers against Fetty were done, not recently. Harper, 3 home runs, 5 for 13. Hoskins, 2 home runs, 4 for 16. Real Muto, 1 home run, 3 for 12. So their best 3 hitters are hitting him. They're hitting him. TJ Rusty Kuntz is a very famous Detroit Tiger. All right, respect. Okay, let's go back to the spot and see where the cash is right now. Here we go. We have 72%. Oh, sorry, that's wrong. That's the spread. We have 57. So 4,438 tickets in. 57% of the tickets on Washington. 56% of the cash. Then we have 59% of the tickets on the under and 46% of the cash. So I stopped making the same mistakes that have plagued me in my handicapping career in MLB. I stopped making them. If a pitcher has my number, I stopped messing around in games that he's pitching in. Also, Fetty hasn't given up a run in 3 straight starts. I mean, everything is pointing towards the Nationals. And I'm going to not move on it right now. I'm going to not move on it right now. If we have here 58% of the tickets, 56% of cash, who's betting the Phillies here? We have Phillies went to -111 last night. The Phillies have never been lower than -106 at Pinnacle. They've only gone higher. Sharpie says Nats Pens #1 in the last 15 days. So I have to stop myself from doing this. I have to stop myself from betting on Eric Fetty as much as I want to, because Vince Velasquez, he just screws me over time and time and time again. So nothing for me at this point on the Nats Phillies. Is Fetty going to throw his 4th straight shutout? Look, as much as I want to make a move, I have to stop making the same mistakes that have plagued me. We move on to 1:10 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis Cardinals 36-37, 17-22 on the road at the Detroit Tigers, 31-42, 16-19 at home. Shout out to Razor Sharp Picks and his Gambler's First Glance videos. He was on the Tigers full game. Sharpie was on the Tigers first 5 immediately at plus 105. I beat myself up for not taking them earlier, and because you guys know I'm a huge screwball guy. I move on to Tigers finally, and I took him at minus 110. That's the first time in the last little while that I've said, look, I'm getting a 15-cent worst line, but I really believe in this play. I've not been doing that, and I don't want to keep doing that. And I would be happy enough if I didn't bet the Tigers yesterday and let you guys win. Okay. Viper says the best time to tail Jimmy is when he's fearful. Maddie I says, props to you guys. I was very wrong. You know, Maddie, look, your record speaks for yourself. There's going to be wins. There's going to be losses. Slat says, thank you for not betting Velasquez. Oh, look, I was going to fade Velasquez. I don't want anything to do with Velasquez. He has no movement on his stuff, and now there's no sticky substances to help him. But, okay. Let's move on here. We have a very interesting spot that I was staring at. 73 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 10 miles per hour sideways in. John Gant, 4-5, 3.50 ERA, 1.61 whip, 61 2/3, 46 Ks, 44 walks, 5 home runs. In his last start, I cashed on the under. It was the Morton Gant start. And there's been a lot of talk about Gant being heavily affected with the lack of spider tack. He went 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, and 4 Ks in a 4-0 loss at the Braves. That K to walk ratio is atrocious, 46 Ks and 44 walks, but he's only allowed 5 home runs in 61 2/3, going up against 6'6", 23-year-old Matt Manning, 9th overall pick in the 2016 draft out of Sheldon High in Sacramento. He's skinny, 195 pounds, 6'6". We talked about him in his last start. He went up against Ohtani, and he looked pretty good. Before the season started, he was ranked as the 30th prospect by Baseball America. That was down from 17 before the 2020 season. And something happened. These are the sort of statistical analysis that I can't really explain. In 2019, he was the organization's minor league player of the year for 2019. Struck out 148 batters in 133 2/3, 2.56 ERA, 0.98 whip, went 11-5. Fastball, curveball were very, very tough to touch. Then in 2021 at AAA Toledo, 7 starts. He's 1-3 with an 8.07 ERA, 1.55 whip. He's not looked good. He's allowed 11 home runs in 32 1/3. In AA Erie, he allowed 7 home runs in 133 innings. But his last AAA start was his best to date. 2 runs over 6 innings with 8 Ks. And then he came in and he looked okay in his first start. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. 2 runs, no earned runs. 2 walks, and 3 Ks. In the 7-5 road loss last week versus the Angels. The Clay says, got behind the taint last night. We won, and it felt good. Thumbs up. Respect. Thank you for rolling with us, the Clay. Cardinals don't hit righties. 224, 667 OPS. Tigers don't really either. 231, 690 OPS, but a little better than the Cardinals. And those Cardinals bats are ice cold. Cardinals bullpen, 4.21 ERA, 1.40 whip. The back end has been very good. Everything in between has been bad. They've converted 21 to 27 save opportunities. Tigers bullpen, 5.23 ERA, 1.52 whip, converted 16 to 25 save opportunities, and they're not to be trusted. Not to be trusted at all, especially without Fulmer back there. So, what do? We know that the Cardinals haven't seen Matt Manning. Against John Gant, these Tigers are hitting 182 with a 455 OPS. The market is sitting at 9. The over 9 was at minus 115. Now it's minus 118. The Cardinals have lost 2 cents. They were at minus 115. Now they're at minus 113. So let's go down to first 5. First 5. This total was juiced to the under 5 at minus 119. Now the under 5 is at minus 116. And a bunch of books have made the over 5 a spot. Stan Lynch says Cardinals struggling. Lance LaRose says Tigers and the over. Piker says second start for a new pitcher. Adjusted scouting reports lean Cards here. There's Johnny K in the house. Stan Lynch says Tigers 12-22 in day games. So there's just too much guessing in this game. My initial feeling is that I like Gant, but we know that his spin rate has gone down. That's been documented by guys like Christopher Gargaro and Sharpie on the show. Matt Manning, he's expected to be a big piece of this rotation, right? This rotation is expected to be Casey Mize, Matt Manning, Tariq Skubal, and Spencer Turnbull. Those are the main four guys that the Tigers expect to have in the rotation moving forward. Mandy Ice says, I love so many games. Player props on today's card going to be a huge day for me. There's Clint started the Die Hard MMA podcast. My 18-1 to win the cup is alive. It is very alive. Very, very, very alive. Summertime says Pirates bunny line. I just feel like there is a little too much guessing. Peter Loshak says, I like the Tigers as a dog. Don't understand the line. Let's move to the cash here and see if that can help us make decisions. We have 38% of the money line tickets on the Tigers and 45% of the cash. And we have 50% of the tickets on the under and 95% of the cash, 4,224. That's in. Stanley says, are there cons my thoughts anywhere? They've been taken down, but they'll be probably back up. And Matty Ice says, wait till they add Lighter or Rocker to that rotation. Man, look, all I want to do is I just want to be in Detroit nonstop for the next few years. I want to be going to games. I want to be eating at Slows, eating at Green Dot Stables. Okay, so Cardinals, Tigers. I'm not making a move. I know we're 3 games in and I'm sitting here not making moves. I've made one bet before the day started, A's -1, but and it's not that I don't want to be making moves. Look, I want afternoon action, but I have to win. I do understand the lean towards the Nationals. Danny A says, first 3 games are a bust. Jimmy, I don't blame you. Turnsy says, I miss Old Tiger Stadium. I never got a chance to go there, but Comerica is incredible, especially if you compare it to this shithole we have in Toronto. Okay, let's move. And Kevin Riley says, you will stop over to my home. We will party. I love it. Okay, we move on. 3:40 p.m. Eastern. And this Brewers Diamondbacks spot was a perfect example of why you need to have a book like Pinnacle or a book that lets you bet these first 5s as soon as they come out. I had to wait till 9:45 or 10 in the morning for the first 5s to come out on Bet365, and the under had been beaten up. The under had been beaten up. The first 5 under was a nice opportunity. But I don't know what to do with Woodruff right now and Woodruff's last start. Now, we can talk about the thin air in Colorado, but the Rockies don't hit righties that hard, and they smashed Woodruff. Is the Spidey tack situation affecting Woodruff? Is what you have to ask yourself, and that almost it's just so hard to decipher why a pitcher is getting hit right now with this ban on the sticky stuff. Brewers are 41-33, 21-15 on the road. Diamondbacks are 21-54, 12-23 at home. We're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. The roof is closed. Woodruff 5-3, 1.94 ERA, 0.76 WHIP, 88 innings, 102 Ks, 19 walks, 8 home runs allowed. His last start, he only made it through 5. He allowed 2 home runs, 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks, a 7-3 loss at Colorado. Caleb Smith looked very good in his last start, and I had him, I believe, at plus 155 or plus 165. I can't remember which one it was. Against the Dodgers, first 5, and it pushed. It was 0-0 after 5, and I didn't get the cash. And looking back at it, I could have bet it differently to ensure that I got paid if Caleb Smith was that good. But I'm telling you, when a lefty goes up against the Dodgers, just like last night, the Dodgers aren't going to succeed, especially with the injuries right now. If they're fully healthy, maybe they'll fare better than they've fared. 6 innings, 1 hit, 0 earned runs, 4 walks, 5 Ks, and a 3-0 win at home over the Dodgers. This is Caleb Smith's 3rd straight home start. I love that. I love when pitchers can get into a rhythm at home. Brewers versus lefties, 218, 711 OPS, much better than against righties. D-backs versus righties, 225, 652 OPS. The D-backs bullpen, 5.16 ERA, 1.52 whip, I want nothing to do with. That's why our look yesterday was that first 5 under. But we can't bet the first 5 under. Those of you who bet it at 4 should be rewarded, and at 3.5 we can't do it. Now that's something that I believe that not everybody believes. We have Hunter Engelhart who thinks that he'd prefer the 3.5 at a plus 100, but I need the 4 for a push. A diehard MMA podcast says Arizona is a dumpster fire. Brewers yesterday was too easy after the D-backs broke the losing streak. I agree. Stan Lynch says Brewers 22-9 in day games. And Jeff Joseph in the house. Great to see you, Jeff. I miss you. Miss you, my man. Can't wait till we can be betting horses together. Okay. Piker says 2 best unders are this game and Dodgers. They're both 3.5. Probably both good. Highly doubt we lose both. Line value first 5 with Caleb Smith again. Yes. Yeah, I agree. So now look, Woodruff is going to have a much easier time. Clearly, a much easier time here with the roof closed than he had in Colorado. But Caleb Smith right now is at between plus 180 and plus 190 first 5. DC says Brewers are 7-1 in their last 8 games versus left-handed starter. You're absolutely right. It's such a good point, DC. Stan Lynch says, too bad Scherzer didn't beat up Girardi last night. You know, Girardi looked tough, man. But all right, let's take a look at the baseball data here. Woodruff, 275, but 686 OPS. So they're 11 for 40, but 2 doubles and 1 home run. Caleb Smith, they're hitting 235 with a 951 OPS. Yelich has 2 home runs in 8 at-bats against them. Daniel Robertson has a homer. Avisail Garcia has a homer. Beautiful, Jeff, for the Foster on Saturday. Beautiful. Yes, Puzzler, 218 versus lefties, but a 711 OPS. So they hit them. They have about 65 percentage points higher on the OPS. Okay, let's see where the cash is. Here. We have 89% of the tickets on Milwaukee, 96% of the cash. 46% of the tickets on the over, 65% of the cash. Caleb Smith in his 3rd start at home makes me want to back him. Matty Ice, taint play of the day is in. I repeat, the taint play of the day is in. Taint play of the day is in. I'm going to copy and paste that and pop it here. And that is also the game that Jose wants to break down. Exciting. All right. Johnny K says Diamondbacks first 5. It just feels like there's conflicting things going on in this game. The Brewers are 7-1 over the last 8 against the lefty. They hit lefties much harder. But Caleb Smith has his 3rd start at home, and he's pitching 3rd consecutive start at home, and he's pitching well. This is a Diamondbacks or no bet. Do I really want to challenge Woodruff? Okay, Diamondbacks first 5 will have a question mark beside it right now. Stan Lynch said I would go Brewers, Arizona first 5 under 4. So would I if it was available. But even in doing that, I don't know if I'm sold some of these pitchers that are not pitching as well after this crackdown on the sticky stuff, you got to tread with caution. There's our guy, Fat Wally, in the house. Much love to you, Fat Wally. Okay. JT says, matter of fact, I'll put a small bet. Okay, we'll see that in a sec. Jerry Beatty says, a lot of confusion in the chat today. People going both ways on games. I'm staying off a lot of these games. Seems hard today. And martial arts fan, Brewers straight, money line, half unit. Pete says, I kind of don't like this spot for Smith, not to confuse things even more. Interesting. Is it because the Brewers hit lefties more than they hit righties? Is it because they're 7-1 over the last 8 against lefties? Or is it because you think it could be a letdown spot after a hugely important game? Well, for him, not for the Diamondbacks. Against the Dodgers is a letdown spot. I would love for you to expand on that. And JT is moving on Arizona first 5 plus 185. Stan Lynch says first 5 under 4 is at minus 118 at Pinnacle. Okay, so Diamondbacks first 5 is a lean. Brian Watson said, I'm just betting Taint, Oakland minus 1.5, and Sweden plus 0.5. There's Robert Cherry in the house. And Puzzler just took Arizona first 5 plus 0.5 at plus 100. That's a very interesting look. Okay, here is the game I want to talk about more than any other. 4:07 p.m. Eastern. Giants, Angels. I almost bet the first 5 under 4 on my own twice. And I was like, you know what? With the way that these teams hit righties, why don't we talk about it together and then make a decision? JoJo Rich on Dodgers money line, San Francisco full game under 8, Atlanta first 5 under 5 for him today. And Gamblers first glance, Angels money line at plus 103 versus the Giants. Wow. Razor sharp picks, a Gambler's first glance that can be seen on our Pub Sports Radio YouTube page every day. Wow. Sharpie says, I need 21 days to back a pitcher who faces the same team like Woodruff and Smith. Stay off from me. Mike M says Ohtani or bust. Okay, let's get to work here. Angel Stadium, Anaheim, California. These Giants are 23-16 on the road, and they're hitting balls hard. And Sharpie is on the first 5 under 4 and on the Angels' first 5 plus 100. Angels are 21-18 at home, 36-37 overall. 76 Fahrenheit clear, 9 miles per hour out to straightaway center. Nice weather for offense. Kevin Gausman has been spectacular this year. 8-1, 1.51 ERA, 0.77 WHIP, 89 2/3, 103 Ks, 19 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, he went 8 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 10-3 home win versus the Diamondbacks. Shohei Ohtani, 3-1, 2.70 ERA, 1.16 WHIP, 53 1/3, 73 Ks, 29 walks, 5 home runs allowed. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 5 Ks, and a 7-5 win at home versus the Tigers, and he was rolling. He'd thrown 78 pitches, and he was pulled. This is Shohei's second straight home start. The Giants are hitting 242, 763 OPS versus righties. The Angels are hitting 258, 753 OPS versus righties. Giants bullpen 3.43 ERA, 1.14 WHIP have been excellent of late, and the Angels bullpen 4.78 ERA, 1.44 WHIP has been struggling. Okay, let's go to baseball data here in this spot. Against Gausman, they're hitting 368 with an 879 OPS. Now, which Gausman was that? The Gausman that the Baltimore Orioles wanted nothing to do with? And the Giants have never seen Shohei Ohtani. Ooh-wee, this is tough. So let's go to the first 5 to begin with. We have Ohtani at minus 105. There are a couple of hundreds. Let's go to the total because that's what interests me the most. The total opened up at 4 at minus 104. It's now over 4. Now it's over 4 minus 105. So a 1 cent move. A 1 cent move. But that's at Pinnacle. Other books have the over 4 at minus 120, like Intertops, Bet Online, UWager. I mean, Sports Interaction has the over 4 at minus 128. Okay, let's go to full game here. Full game, Giants, Angels. Giants open up at minus 111. They're now minus 110. there's been a 2-cent move towards the under. It's gone from a pick'em to minus 108. Wyatt, these hats are real, baby. Ain't no green screen here. What do you want me to touch? Oh, sorry, you can't even. Sorry. There we go. What do you want me to? Here, see in here? I got under that Cardinals hat, I got a letter from Matt Randall and a letter from Birdie. Okay. So, let's see where the cash is in this spot. That will tell the tale. What's Razor saying? Gausman 8-1. Giants have 20-plus wins over losses. Angels have a losing record, and Lions only minus 110. It's a trap. We have, 73% of the money line tickets on the Giants, 95% of the cash. Wow. It's telling you Ohtani's going to throw a gem. Patrick People says, Giants money line here, the same way you stay away from pitchers that you usually lose on. I ride some pitchers' wave, riding Gausman today. Piker says, Giants full game. Take advantage of that bullpen. You're certainly not worried about Gausman. Win this one late. And Mike M, all the money on the Giants. The line is moving towards the Angels. Let's just look at that one more time. There's not really any movement. I mean, a 1-cent move towards the Angels, but all the money's on the Giants. Razor says Public's hammering the Giants. Lines move 2 cents. It's going to be a playoff type game. Jessica Easton says there is no question. Giants are ready, willing, and able. They're playing spectacular baseball. 47-26. There's no doubt about it. But Mike M said just got an alert on a slight dip for the Giants line. Sharpie says Gausman best first 5 pitcher this year, and we think Ohtani holds his own first 5 under 4. Let's go. Yeah, so let's kind of make this as congruent as possible here for the first 5 under 4. We're getting the 4 because these teams smash righties. We're getting the 4 because, as incredible as Gausman's been, this superlative Kevin Gausman that we see on the mound could have been picked up by any team in the league. He was a bum. So the numbers that we have against Gausman in the baseball data with these Angels hitting him are numbers that we don't expect to continue. JT, the over-under movement is we have 5,523 tickets in, 52% of the tickets on the under, 55% of the cash on the under. Ricky Levine's going to be going to this game. You're going to love it. Gillette Bros says Acuna tearing it up. Acuna is just a beast. Okay. So these Giants are smashing and have never seen Shohei. Okay. I will move on the first 5 under 4. I think we've said enough here, and I don't want to sit here humming and hawing, and I haven't added any action here. Okay, let's just take a quick look. I know that this is we probably don't have time for this. In fact, I know that we don't have time for this, but I'm going to do it anyways. I would just like to look at Gausman's last few starts because I do think this idea that this Giants team that's hitting so well did slow down for 7 innings last night, and now we'll face Ohtani for the first time in a 1:00 game for them. Could Gausman get touched for 2 runs? Because if Gausman gets touched for 2 runs, I think we're in pretty good shape. At Washington, he allows 2 runs. He had a long streak of no earned runs allowed. Versus Arizona at home, 8 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Arizona doesn't hit righties. I think the Angels' first 5 is the play here. There's Boston Nick in the house. Great to see you, Boston Nick. Patrick People says Gausman's only given up more than 2 runs once in the entire season. I wonder if the sticky stuff is going to affect him at all. Okay, I'm leaning towards the Angels' first 5. Okay, I'm leaning towards the Angels' first 5. This is a really nice showcase opportunity for Ohtani. Going up against a team that's never seen him. Only threw 78 pitches his last start. Fresh and ready to fire. S. Racky says 1K on Ohtani. Michael Evelyn says, if you want the Angels whatsoever, Jimmy, it has to be first 5. Their bullpen's hot garbage, and they pull Ohtani way too early every game. Live bet Giants when Ohtani is pulled. I hear that, Michael Evelina, but I don't see them pulling him early this game. They pulled him. No, they're going to always, try with caution with this MVP, but that was against the Tigers. This is a little different. Sharpie said, like I said, I'm on Angels first 5 and the under 4 first 5. If sticky substances affects anyone, it's Ohtani. His spin rate was down last week. So if you think that the sticky stuff might affect Ohtani, why are you on the Angels first 5, Sharpie? Okay, so there's certainly a lean for me. I want to hear what Sharpie has to say about why he's back in the Angels first 5 if he suspects that Ohtani's spin rate is going to be down. The first 5 under 4 is going to be a move for me, but I do think it's going to be a sweat. TJ says Ohtani won't go more than 5 walks and pitches deep into counts. Okay, that was the game I wanted to talk about more than any other. Stan Lynch says sticky stuff is more likely a veteran pitcher. And Ralph Nunziata, and that was great to see Ralph says Bauer beats the Padres tonight. Sharpie says, because I don't think it's sticky stuff that affected him last week. It was just brought to my attention by Chris G. Okay. All right, let's move on. 4:10 p.m. Eastern. Colorado Rockies 30-44, 5-28 on the road at the Seattle Mariners, 39-36, 24-15 at home. We're at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, Washington. 67 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 6 miles per hour out to left center. Germán Márquez, a tricky pitcher to deal with because of his crazy home road splits. On the year, he's 5-6, 4.26 ERA, 1.38 WHIP, 82 and a third, 82 Ks, 39 walks, 6 home runs. How do you get past his splits? At home, he's 5-1 with a 3.56 ERA. Opponent's batting average 216 in the thin air in Colorado. On the road, he's 0-5. No, Jeff, the Giants have never faced Ohtani. On the road, he's 0-5, 5.74 ERA. Opponent's rating 298 against him. How do you get past that? With just like a vividness bias from his incredible start last out, 6 innings, 1 hit, 3 walks, 2 Ks, 7-3 home win over the Brewers. Although the Brewers don't hit righties, I think, wow, Márquez is going to be incredible. Márquez is going to be in a pitcher's ballpark, and he's going to be lights out. Matty Ice says Rockies smash lefties, and Sheffield has been one of the worst pitchers in baseball. Sheffield 5-6, 5.65 ERA, 1.66 WHIP, 63 and 2/3, 49 Ks, 26 walks, 11 home runs. In his last start, went 5 innings, allowed 10 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks, and a 7-2 loss at home against the Twins. Rockies are smashing lefties. Matty Ice says Rockies first 5 for me, and it's on my card. Rockies 277, 787 OPS versus lefties. Mariners versus righties, 216, 670 OPS. Rockies bullpen terrible, 5.23 ERA, 1.52 WHIP, have converted 11 of 23 save opportunities. Mariners bullpen 4.15 ERA, 1.23 WHIP, have converted 19 of 33. Yes, Turnsy, the taint is in. And it is the first 5 over 3.5 in the Dodgers game. Sharpie says Rockies opened at minus 125 and now I'll pick them. I want to back Márquez here. Matty I says the over is also in play. Okay. Mariners bullpen 4.15 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Okay, let's go to the baseball data here. Against Márquez, 312, 889 OPS, small sample size, 5 for 16 with a homer. Against Sheffield, they're hitting 200 with a 467 OPS. They're 3 for 15 against them. 3 for 15 against them. TJ says Rockies 1-11 first 5 on the road. Seattle on a 5-game winning streak. Rockies have won 5 of 30 road games. Okay, let's see what the odds market has done in this spot. This total opened up at 8. It's moved to 8.5. Colorado opens up at minus 115. At Pinnacle now they're at minus 108. Is that because of the Mariners winning streak? Matty Ice says Crown, Story, and Tapia are smashing. Let's see. Colorado. We have 53% of the tickets on the Mariners and 63% of the cash on the Mariners. So that's pretty simple there, explaining the small market move towards the Mariners. And then 51% of the tickets on the over and 61% of the cash on the over. Let's see what Pete's saying. Pete says, I'm on Rockies first 5. If it loses, okay. Not overthinking it. Matty Ice says, me too. Well, let's move over to that first 5. Let's move over to the first 5 money line, see if there's been movement there. First 5 money line. And Freeland coming off a big start yesterday for them. It's got to make at least that bullpen feel better about themselves, or, the clubhouse or whatever. So let's see what Bookmaker has done with this first 5. Bookmaker opened Colorado at minus 118. They're now minus 130. Some legitimate juice. Stan Lynch, Colorado first 5 over 2.5 at plus 117. Matty Ice loving that look. Jorge Gonzalez says it's very consistent how bad he is on the road. Look, I get it. But I am going to overthink this. I just can't take a favorite here when his road splits are that bad. It just doesn't. Soupy Panty says can't trust either team. But the Rockies smash lefties. The market's moving towards the Rockies first 5. Marquez coming off a really nice start. Look, I get it. It just doesn't all line up. Okay, I'm going to put a lean to the Rockies first 5. Sharpie says, how many times have the Rockies ever been a favorite on the road? Matty I says, take the Rockies team total over then. Okay. Puzzler took Colorado first 5 with Spain for a plus 105 parlay. All right, let's move on. We move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern, Houston Astros at Baltimore Orioles. Astros 45-28, 19-15 on the road at Baltimore Orioles, 23-50, 12-25 at home. Camden Yards in Baltimore, Maryland. 74 Fahrenheit clear, 4 miles per hour, sideways out to the left field pole. Jose Urquidy coming off a nice start at home over the White Sox. That was when he went up against Cease, and they won easily. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs. He allowed 1 walk and 5 Ks. 1 walk and 5 Ks and a 10-2 win at home over the White Sox. Going up against Thomas Eshelman. First start of the season was last week. He went 4 2/3, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 home run. It was a solo shot, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and a 7-1 win at home over the Jays. The hard-hitting Toronto Blue Jays threw me for a loop. Again, it's another situation where a pitcher like Eshelman comes up to the show with terrible numbers in AAA, just like Matt Manning for the Tigers. And it's always throwing me for a loop when I expect this pitcher to get rocked, and he isn't coming out of the PCL league. He doesn't really have an excuse for a sky-high ERA, and he doesn't get rocked. In AAA, he's 0 for 3, 6.41 ERA, 0-3, not 4, sorry. 0-3, 6.41 ERA, 1.42 whip, 19 2/3, 10 Ks, 3 walks, and 4 home runs. Astros versus righties, 268 with a 792 OPS. Orioles versus righties, 219, 658 OPS. They hit lefties hard. They do nothing against righties. Astros bullpen is improving slightly, 4.05 ERA, 1.28 whip, have converted 15 of 27 save opportunities. Orioles bullpen, 4.74 ERA, 1.36 whip, have converted 11 of 23 save opportunities. And the Dirty K prop of the day is in. I repeat, the Dirty K prop of the day is in. Let's go. Urquidy over 4.5 Ks at minus 133. Orioles rank 30th in walks, 6th in strikeout percentage for right-handed pitching. Baltimore is number 1 in K percentage last 15 days for right-hand pitching. Greinke should have got it last night, but they pulled him at 91 pitches in the 7th. Yes, I was watching that quite closely. Sebastian A says, love my Astros. Love Urquidy. He is a baller. Stan Lynch says, Eshelman, former Astros second-round pick. Staying off, kind of guy that can throw a wrench into a pick. Very interesting. Very interesting, Stan. Thank you for sharing that piece of information. Okay, let's take a look at the baseball data, if Urquidy has any here against the opposition. No, the Orioles have not seen Urquidy. And the Astros are 1 for 2 against Eshelman. My immediate feeling was that Eshelman looked good in that first start against the Jays, and I stopped. I didn't move on it because the Jays are hitting so hard and they couldn't get to Eshelman. But Urquidy's pitching so well. Shouldn't they just roll through this Orioles squad? Dad Fan says Orioles are great plus money. I like the O's and the dirty K prop. O's could strike out and still score 5 or 6. All right, let's see where the cash is right now. We have 8% of the tickets on the money line on the Orioles, 16% of the cash. And here we go. 40% of the tickets on the over, but 89% of the cash. 89% of the cash on the over. Let's go to full game here. Money lines and totals. All right. In this spot here, we have opening at 10 and moving down to 9.5 with all this cash on the over. Pinnacles just moved it to 9.5. Patrick Peeble says Eshelman only pitched 4 2/3, not bad, only giving up 1 earned run against the Blue Jays, but the Astros are on another level. Eshelman is getting roughed up here. Jorge Gonzalez says this is a no-go game and not enough stats. Von Polo says, why would anyone be burning money betting on Colorado on the road? Ooh. And Spenny Pennybomb says, I think Tampa Bay finishes off the Islanders tonight. There's no better coach for this situation than Trotzy. But we'll get there in a second. So my first initial thought was, why don't we make a big bet? Well, not, I mean, it doesn't need to be much more than a unit. I shouldn't say big bet, but take the Astros at least -1.5, or if you still have some fundamental concerns with the Astros bullpen, take the first 5 -1. But what's Eshelman going to do? He looked pretty good against the Jays. So why has this line not moved? If you've got 85% of the cash on Urquidy, why is it still at -190? It hasn't moved. Why has it not moved? It's very strange. So there has to be some expectation of Eshelman to have a good start. And if he has a good start and Urquidy has a good start, because we can expect Urquidy to shut down the opposition, well, what does that lead us to? That leads us to a possible first 5 under. Let's just quickly look at that first 5 under. First 5 under at 5.5. 6 runs. Are they going to score 6 runs? Matty, I said, for those of you who have bet MGM, take the Astros and the under 9.5 at +220. Sharpie says Astros have the number 3 bullpen last 15 days, and the Orioles are 30th last 15 days. And Von Polo will be at the O's game. Damn, that sounds like fun. Robert Cherry says first 5 over 5.5 is at -106. Do I lean to the first 5 over? Huh. I have some interest in the under first 5 under 5.5. The first 5 under 5.5, I have interest in. So all I will need is Eshelman to have a strong start here. And he looked very good against a very hot-hitting Jays squad. At home, second straight start for him at home. I like that. Okay. Colin Boyd says, anyone like Detroit today? Man, we hammered that game, Colin, off the top of the show. And I don't know what to do with John Gant, and I think Matt Manning has value. And TJ says Ohtani's spin rate is way down. Might want to relook at that. Okay. I believe I'm going to be moving on the first 5 under 5.5 here in the Orioles-Astros game. Let's move on to 7:05 p.m. Eastern. We have the Kansas City Royals, 33-38, 15-19 on the road at the New York Yankees, 38-34, 19-18 at home. We're at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, 74 Fahrenheit clear, 4 miles per hour in. Danny Duffy, 4-3, 1.94 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, 41 2/3, 48 Ks, 12 walks, 2 homers. He has not started since May 12th. 10-day injured list on May 17th with a left forearm flexor strain. He's in the final year of that 5-year, $65 million contract, and he's anchored this Royals rotation through the first month and a half of the season. When he went on the IL, Duffy had the 7th best ERA among qualifying pitchers in Major League Baseball. And the Yankees are hitting 240, 713 OPS versus lefties. A fine average, but no power. Going up against Michael King, who looks susceptible. Michael King, 0-3, 4.08 ERA, 1.39 WHIP, 35 1/3, 29 Ks, 15 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 1/3, allowed 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 0 homers, 2 walks, 1 K, in an 8-4 win at the Jays. Royals versus righties, 242 with a 697 OPS. Yankees versus lefties, 240 with a 713 OPS. Royals bullpen, 4.13 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, have converted 16 of 25 save opportunities. Yankees bullpen continues to pitch well, 3.17 ERA, 1.13 WHIP, converted 20 of 27 save opportunities. We go to the data, and Duffy has nice numbers against these Yankees. And one of the things that you look at are the big bats hitting him. And, Judge is 1 for 8 with a single. Stanton's 0 for 3. They're 239 with a 685 OPS against him. And his arm should be live here. The question is, will the sticky stuff affect him? Michael King, they are 1 for 3, very small sample size against them. Beautiful. Guillermo Zertucci, whom we love dearly, part of our fam, says, Jimmy, can you give my oldest son, Estevan, a shout out? Want to learn how to cap sports? No better way to learn from all these dope cappers in the chat and yourself. Estevan, my friend, welcome. It's all about the work, and we love the work. And life is so much more enjoyable when you love what you're working on. And if you hang out with your dad and your brother Eli, who's an excellent thoroughbred capper, you're in great company. Okay. Patrick People says, staying away from this game. King is suspect. Royals are suspect. I call this more of a toss-up, and I play leans or... Joseph Gomez says, Yankees still cold as ice, but no reliable info on Duffy off the IR. Joey, we're giving love to Estevan. Great to have Estevan rolling with us. Okay, so let's take a look at the market move in this game. And what a call by our Peter Loshak on the Royals yesterday. It ended up being just a lean, and we have to keep our ears to the streets for whenever Loshak is making a move and then says it's just a lean, because his leans were up 5 units yesterday. Okay, we have Yankees Royals. This first 5 opened at 5, went to 5.5. Clearly thinking Duffy is susceptible. Let's see what the money line is on this first 5. Money line, you're getting Duffy at plus 130, which is not a bad price. Let's Dance also making a big bet on Ohtani. Griffin says Loshak is back and sharper than ever, no doubt. And Sharp Money, who gave us that look on Sweden, I love it. Stan Lynch said Duffy suspicious how good he is all of a sudden. Spider Tag Juicer. I guess we should wait to see how he looks. And Diesel's on his beloved Angels first 5. But I certainly lean towards Duffy. And Mike King is just clearly susceptible. And Pete Loshak says low-hanging fruit coming up soon. Very exciting. Kevin Riley says KC and over big catcher yesterday for me. And Joseph Gomez says Loshak the King has returned. Okay, I'm going to leave a lean Royals first 5 at plus 130. I think that's a decent price. Okay, let's move on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Next up, we have the Atlanta Braves, 35-37, 15-17 on the road at New York Mets, 37-31, 21-9 at home. Citi Field in Queens, New York, 73 Fahrenheit clear, 5 miles per hour, sideways out to the left field pole. And Kyle Wright making another appearance, the 5th overall pick out of Vanderbilt in 2017. How long we've been waiting for him to be excellent. I mean, we've just been waiting so long for him. He's never shown a sign of excellence except at Vanderbilt. In 2020, he went 2-4, 5.21 ERA, 1.55 WHIP, 38 innings, 30 Ks, 24 walks, 7 home runs allowed. And Robert Cherry's on the Yanks first 5 in the over 5.5 at plus 105. So his last start, it was the only start this year, early in the year. I thought I had it written down, but I believe it was in April 17th or some shit like that. 4 1/3, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 5-2 win at the Cubs. Going up against Tyler Megal. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his last name right. Tyler Megal. Starting against the Braves. So the Mets are in dire straits. I mean, they have the best starting pitcher in the league and a ton of injuries after that. Marcus Stroman left Tuesday. Joey Lucchesi undergo Tommy John surgery, done. So they bring up Tyler Megal. Let's talk about Tyler here. 140 minor league innings, 3.41 ERA, and 12 Ks per 9. He's only pitched 3 games above AA, though. 3.77 ERA in 3 games of AAA. 3.35 ERA and 13.2 Ks per 9 in 8 starts between AA Binghamton and AAA Syracuse. Matty Ice says, Braves, first 5 money lineup plus money is on my card. You know, it's so important to be ahead of the market with pitchers. And I made the mistake expecting Kyle Wright to show that he belongs in the rotation. Very highly thought of pitcher out of Vandy. And this might be the time. Piker says, so the Mets who can't score and are getting by on pitching alone will start someone named Megal with little to no history. I'm intrigued here. So let's see what the market has done. And if does Kyle Wright have any history? Yes, he has 22 at-bats against the opposition. Jesus. They're 10 for 22 off him. A 4.55 average with a 1.206 OPS. 10 for 22 with 3 doubles and a homer. God. I mean, it just takes big balls to do that. I don't know if Kyle Wright is going to show what he's capable of. Let's see if the market thinks that he is. We'll go to full game money lines and totals. See what we are dealing with here. For the Braves Mets spot, we have the total under 19 at minus 118. There's been no movement. The Mets open up at minus 123, and they're just sitting at minus 123. If I had bigger balls, I would take the Braves. But I just don't know what Kyle Wright's going to give us. I just don't know what Kyle Wright's going to give us. Joseph Gomez says, on paper, Atlanta should be winning more, but they're just average. Sharpie says, I think this is the Mets' first 5 spot in full game. Mets hit right and have the number 4 bullpen in the last 15 days. Christopher Carter, big balls over full game. Over the Braves may score 6 themselves. And Braves' first 5 is on my card. Look, I like it. I like that it is. DC says Megal 6'7". I can't do it. But I came close there. That's the Braves Mets spot. Let's move on. 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Boston Red Sox 44-29, 24-12 on the road at the Tampa Bay Rays, 43-31, 19-15 at home. We're at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida. There's my guy Joshua Keon Conlea in the house. Great to see you. Joey Yurkovich says 9 is a high total for the park in these offenses, and maybe the pitchers are better than what people think. Yeah, I hear that. Especially if you can get – I mean, they're not going to – the Braves lineup's not going to see Miguel a third time. But I'm still hesitant. Garrett Richards versus Rich Hill. You guys know I have a affinity for Dick Hill. But it's clear that since the Spider Tack breakdown or, cut, he's been getting hit. He's allowed 4 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts. And DC says, what a letdown the Rays yesterday. I couldn't believe it. After getting out of that top of the 10th inning unscathed, I was like, oh, we're going to score here for sure. Garrett Richards, 4-4, 4.36 ERA, 1.61 whip, 74 in the third, 64 Ks, 35 walks, 6 home runs. In his last start, 4 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and a 10-8 win at the Braves. I don't trust Garrett Richards, and I want to back Rich Hill, but he's just not looked good. In his last start at the Mariners, a team that doesn't hit lefties, he went 5 innings, allowed 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 6-5 loss. Red Sox smashed lefties, 265, 742 OPS. Rays hit righties hard, 235, 732 OPS. Both bullpens are strong. And Peter Loshak says Sox Rays first half over 5, official low-hanging fruit. Yeah, I really think that's a good move, Pete, and I do think I will be tailing low-hanging fruit. Only 2 batters have faced Garrett Richards. That's Zunino and Kiermaier, and they are 9 for 17 against him. Zunino 7 for 11 with 2 doubles and a homer. Against Rich Hill, 4 batters have seen him. They're 9 for 37, 243 with an 841 OPS. And Joey Works says full game over. How many guys out of the pen last night for both teams? A lot of this makes a ton of sense. Let's see what the market has done. First, we'll look at the full game in Boston, Tampa. Boston, Tampa. Here we go. The total opened up at 8.5. It's now at 9. Hill opened up at minus 145. He's still, he's now at minus 142. So a small move towards Garrett Richards. This first 5 opened at 4.5 and was juiced to the under. God damn. How long was it at 4.5 for? Oh my God. I could have got this first 5 over 4.5 this morning. I agree completely. I just can't bet it. I can't bet it if I missed the market move from 4.5 to 5. I completely understand, but if I saw this clear like you saw it, Peter, I would have got it at 4.5, and I'm just not going to chase numbers. I think it's a great move. Lance LaRose on Wando for another homer. Sharpie says Dick Mountain comes from the Dodgers, the kings of Spider Tack. Like yesterday, I'm going to live bet this game over. Let's go 0-0 through 2 at the live over. Okay. And BetMGM still has it at 4.5 for Matty Ice. So, Loshak, low-hanging fruit on the over 5. It makes so much sense. Okay. Should have seen that. I should have seen that. Why did I not find that when I was questioning Rich Hill? I was staring at this game last night. That's a mistake on my part, and I must rue the consequences. Let's go to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Toronto Blue Jays 36-35, 23-19 on the road, and Miami Marlins 31-41, 16-15 at home. Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. Light rain, roof closed. Robbie Ray going up against Trevor Rogers. Robbie Ray 4-3, 3.50 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 74 2/3, 97 Ks, 19 walks, 17 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 1/3, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 7-1 win at Baltimore. I don't know how I didn't see that first 5 over. I was staring at that game. I don't know why I wasn't able to put fucking 2 and 2 together. Trevor Rogers, 7-3, 1.87 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 81 2/3, 95 Ks, 26 walks, 4 runs. He's looked so good. In his last start, he went up against the Cardinals. I lost that first 5 over 4. I expected the Cardinals at that time were hitting lefties. Now they've gone ice cold against lefties, but I thought they could get to them. They couldn't even come close. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, no homers, 1 walk, 6 Ks, and a 2-1 win. Jays versus lefties, 259, 754 OPS. Marlins versus lefties, 228, 664 OPS. Okay. Jays bullpen, 3.97 ERA, 1.29 whip, 13 of 22 converted save opportunities. They're a train wreck right now. Marlins bullpen, 3.76 ERA, 1.19 whip. They have nice middle of the inning relievers, but their back end's terrible. 13 of 29 converted save opportunities. Lance LaRose says Jays and under again. Let's take a look at the market. Let's take a look at where the money is. Oh, we didn't look at where the money was in that Red Sox game, did we? Let's just do that quickly. In the Red Sox game, money line, 67% of the tickets on Hill, and the Rays, 86% of the cash. And then look at this, 32% of the tickets on the under, 81% of the cash on the under. But that's only 3,300 tickets, so that's not a lot of sample size. Okay, in the Jays game, the Jays also lose a batter. The first 5 sitting at 3.5. The over was at -108. It's now at -115, so a 7-cent move towards the over. And the Jays taking, are the favorite at -120, which does somewhat surprise me. Let's go to the full game just because of Rogers being so good. Ray opening up at -114 is now -119. This total opened up at 7, and it's now at 7.5. Puzzler says getting Springer back will also help defensively, and Matty Ice welcoming Cade Cunningham to Detroit. I love that, but I want Detroit sports to be big again. I really do. Stan Lynch, Jays, Marlins first 5 under 3.5. Okay, let's see where the cash is in this spot. We have 38% of the tickets on the Marlins and 54% of the cash on the Marlins. And I agree with that. I think that Trevor Rogers is pitching at a very high level right now. And we've talked about Robbie Ray changing his foot placement on the rubber and how his walks are way down. And I guess the Marlins just don't hit lefties, 228, 664 OPS. But still, Robbie Ray's allowed 17 home runs and 74 2/3. Let's see if we got some baseball data that can help us here. Against Robbie Ray, 217, 671 OPS. And the Jays have never seen Trevor Rogers. Then why would this 3.5 first 5 be moving towards the over? Why? I'm going to go back to the first 5 here. There's been a 7-cent move towards the over at Pinnacle. Let's see what bookmakers done on this first 5. It's been a 9-cent move towards the over. So if somebody's going to get hit here, I would like to say it's Robbie Ray, but he's had a real easy time dealing with these guys, except for Marte and Rojas. Rojas 4 for 11, Marte 5 for 14. And the rest of the guys very little. Sharpie says Robbie Ray went 6 innings, 1 run, 9 Ks versus Miami a month ago. Toronto hasn't seen Rogers, and Miami is the number 2 bullpen in the last 15 days. I just don't trust the Marlins back end finishing the job. Still, it's not fixed itself. And all year I said this bullpen's very good. Watch them correct the back end, and they haven't been able to do that. They still converted 13 of just 29 save opportunities. Stan Lynn says Rogers will be working on 7 days rest. I think that the Marlins first 5 is a legitimate move for us. Piker says if it don't make sense, it won't make sense. Stay away from these tricky lines. Even the next game, we'll all be banking on it like it's free money. Look at the movement towards the Rangers today. It's tricky. Marlins just saw Robbie Ray a month ago. Trevor Rogers is, obviously you can't win the Cy Young in the NL with DeGrom there, but he's having a very good season. Robbie Ray just looked good at Baltimore against a team that's smashing lefties. So why would that under 3.5 not be in play? Can we get a run out of Ray? He's not walking a lot of batters. I guess we can't. I guess I can't move on it. Vital saying Trevor Rogers in the first 5 this season, 9-3-2, 75%. I'm just going to have to leave that as a Marlins first 5 lean. I mean, the Jays hit 259, 754 OPS versus lefties. They're so much more dangerous. Okay, let's move on to the one bet I have made, and then we have our final game on the card that is both the Taint play of the day and Jose's Say Hey play of the day. We have 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Oakland Athletics 45-30, 20-12 on the road at Texas Rangers 26-47, 16-20 at home. Sharpie says I'm backing Miami first 5 now after seeing Vitalis post. Wyatt Chapman says, Jimmy, scared money don't make money, baby. Don't fear the market movement. As Mike Tyson said, don't believe the hype, baby. Wyatt, I hear you, but I'm on a plus 27 unit run in MLB over what? Like, I should figure out exactly the date, but about 4.5 weeks, 5 weeks. So I'm just going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing. And if that means being afraid of the market movement, then I'm going to be shit-ass scared of that market movement. Okay, Oakland A's, Texas Rangers, Globe Life Field in Arlington, Texas. Roof is closed. And that I don't have that confirmed. It's just real hot and humid in Texas. James Caprillion, 4-1, 2.84 ERA, 1.11 whip, 38 innings, 42 Ks, 17 walks, 5 home runs. Now, I get it. This is a simple play. And simple plays in baseball have hurt me in the past, and I've pretty much stopped making them. But I have to fade Foltynewicz, although I do expect him to be better in this start, his second straight start at home. James Caprillion looked okay at the Yankees, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 homers, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and a 5-3 win. But Folty is who I'm fading here. 1-7, 5.59 ERA, 1.43 whip, 74 innings, 51 Ks, 19 walks, 17 home runs. And when that Folty is who I'm fading here, that's not entirely true. It's also, I have a huge advantage in the bullpen. A's bullpen 3.99 ERA, 1.25 whip, compared to the Rangers bullpen 4.65 ERA, 1.38 whip. See, Joey Work is on Oakland first 5 -1/2 work play of the day. I just didn't want to double up on this spot because it was too simple of a play, and that was what was keeping me off. So I only took the full game. But I agree with Joey Work's look here very much. Let's take a look at baseball data here. These Rangers haven't seen Caprillion against Foltynewicz, just a 176 average and 693 OPS, 3 for 17 with 2 singles and a triple. Or sorry, 1 single, 1 triple, 1 home run. Now, that could have been the Folty of old, not the Folty of now. Let's take a look at the second straight home start for Folty. And remember, it was just 5 starts ago that Folty completely shut down. I believe, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he went 7 innings. And I'm not even sure if he allowed an earned run against the Astros at home 5 starts ago. So Folty still has some gas in the tank, though. This total has gone from 9 to 9.5. And look at this. Caprillion's gone from -150 to -140. This is everything I haven't been doing here. A simple move, and it just felt too simple. Look at this. This is a red flag here. We have 88% of the tickets and 87% of the cash on the A's, and yet it's moved 10 cents at Pinnacle. 63% of the tickets on the over and 28% of the cash on the over. This makes me feel very, very uncomfortable. There's Noli Nose in the house. This is a red flag here. Why do they want you to bet the A's? Why? I'm very concerned about my look here on the A's -1. Stan Lynn says high voltage could be a spider tacker to add to his problems. All right, let's move to the final game on the card, and it is a beauty because we not only have the Taint play of the day, we also have Jose's Say Hey play of the day. So let's first talk about sweet Taint. Taint sitting at 30 wins and 16 losses, 65.2%, and he's on the Dodgers, Padres, first 5 over 3.5. Taint, baby, taint. And we have our guy, Jose's Say Hey play of the day coming up in this Trevor Bauer versus Joe Musgrove start. And he's in a bad way. My son is in a bad way. We spoke this morning. He looked like he'd just gotten out of a ditch. He's low on confidence. He's lost 4 straight. And the naysayers are saying nay. Please welcome to the show my man and yours, Jose in the house. Jose, how are you?
I'm beleaguered. I'm injured. I'm depressed, Jimmy. I'm getting beat on and off the gambling court, and it hurts. And it hurts. And it's only a little funny because right after the win streak that will be told for years to come ended, I mentioned that I am, in fact, the streakiest gambler alive. And proof is in the pudding, as they say. And the pudding tastes like shit.
Pudding tastes like shit. Well, you don't sound confident. Let's break down this game, Jose. Let's see if we can turn you around, because the disappointment that we all have in you is starting to grow. And I want to stop this right here. I don't want you to be the son that we don't speak about in public. Petco Park, San Diego, California, 68 Fahrenheit, clear at 9 miles per hour in. Trevor Bauer, Joe Musgrove. Po Buddy's Nerfic says, Jimmy, do you have stickers count tabulated? I'm not sure if he has sent out any stickers in a long time. Trevor Bauer, 7-5, 2.45 ERA, 0.94 whip, 95 2/3, 119 Ks, 32 walks, 14 home runs in his last start. The spider tack issues were nowhere to be found. 7 innings, 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks, 3-0 win at the Diamondbacks. And that was the spot where Caleb Smith was going up against him. And I had the Diamondbacks first 5. And it was 0-0 after 5. It was a push. Joe Musgrove, 4-6, 2.28 ERA, 0.85 whip, 79 innings, 98 Ks, 17 walks, 9 home runs. And Musgrove has been a very tricky pitcher for me to figure out this year. 7 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs allowed, 3 walks, 2 Ks, 6-4 win at home over the Reds, and the Reds smash righties. And that was a game where my heart broke for the bettors on the under, because it was 2-1 going into it was 2-0, 2-0 going into the bottom of the ninth. And 8 runs were scored, into the ninth. 8 runs were scored in the ninth inning, 4 by each team, and it went over. And Dodgers versus righties, 251, 773 OPS. Padres versus righties, 236, 712 OPS. Dodgers bullpen, 3.76 ERA, 1.28 whip. Padres bullpen, second best in the business, 2.80 ERA, 1.13 whip. And this is playoff-type atmosphere with a capacity stadium here at Petco. Take it away, Jose. What's the plan of action?
Well, I took solace in one thing, Jimmy, is that me and Matty Ice are looking in the same direction. I've been on my overs trend. I have not bet an under since June 3rd. So that's been a fun time for me. I've just continued to bet overs, and I'm on the full game over here. It just makes a lot of sense to me. You know, Jimmy, you use this corollary in basketball. You use a shooter coming off a great night. You don't bet on him again. Career props, all that good stuff. Bauer and Musgrove both come out of last starts. Shutties, both good. They're both excellent pitchers. Bauer, we know as the man that kind of blew up the sticky substances thing. Obviously used it, but it's not the end all be all, as we're all noticing. It's not the end all be all. But I think he's going to get touched up here a little bit, Jimmy. Last couple starts, 7 innings, like you said, Diamondback shutout. That's been his best start in a while. Previous to that, 4 earned. Previous to that, 3 earned. 3 earned, 2 earned, and then 2 back-to-back shutouts. He's given up runs this year. He hasn't been completely untouchable like your Jacob deGrom has been. So I can really see him giving up a couple. and with this 3.5 number being so low, it's really just 2. 2 is all we need from DeGrom, and along with Musgrove too. I mean, Musgrove, he's been on that same trend, and what's the month before this one? April. There we go. April. He last 2 starts of April he dominated. May he comes out 3 earned, and then the shutout against the Reds. We will see how he does. I think it's going to be a good game for sure, but I think especially with these bullpens as well, they used all of their aces, their bullpen aces last night. I think we can get to them late, so I'll take the over in this game, and I believe the over total is a 7.5. So I like the over 7.5 full game.
Very interesting look. It did open at 7. It was quite juiced at the time. Let's see how long it stayed at 7 here. It opened at 7:49 p.m. and actually went down. 7 minus 120 went down to minus 117 at midnight. But at 2:20 a.m. it moved to 7.5. And it's just been taking money the market's been moving in that direction. We'll look at where the money is. So let's line shop for our man Jose right now. We move over to totals and over.
And Jimmy, on top of that, but while you're looking real fast, I guess I'll make this another play because I never do this, Jimmy. I'm down bad, and I think I need to change up the vibes. I'm going to give out 2 plays today.
Okay.
And you mentioned it yesterday, so I'm going to do it today. And Matty Ice, I believe, just mentioned it. Manny Machado destroys Trevor Bauer. Absolutely crushes him. And Trevor Bauer has talked about this before. In Trevor Bauer calls him the Holy Spirit because of how much he smashes him. He's above God, all this, whatever you want to say. Right now on your boy Pinnacle, over 1.5 bases for Manny Machado, plus 127. That just seems like easy money. Honestly, like I said, he smokes him. I could easily see him getting a double off the bat real fast. Get your money right there. If you want firm statistics, 25 plate appearances, 22 at-bats, 12 hits, 2 doubles, 4 home runs, 5 strikeouts. Almost as many home runs as strikeouts. So you do that as well.
Yeah, and he's Tatis 2 for 6 with 2 homers. But after that, he shuts his team down. Hosmer. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong thing. No, sorry. Hosmer 7 for 29. Myers 2 for 9. Pham 0 for 4. Caratini 1 for 13. Ha-Seong Kim 0 for 1, I guess doesn't help. Okay, very interesting. 266 with an 841 OPS against the Padres, but it's Manny Machado that's creating that. Against Musgrove, the Dodgers hit him 312 with an 872 OPS.
Yeah, and I was pretty surprised to see the Dodgers being slight underdog in this game. Actually, I've been watching the line move as the show's gone on. They were at minus 102 earlier when the show started. Now they're at plus 106. So I thought that was pretty surprising to see from that too. I like the Dodgers in the game as well, but
so I agree. I think this over makes a ton of sense. I had the opportunity to bet it at 7. It was available at Bet365 at 7, open at 12:55 a.m., and it was there till 6:12 a.m. And I was awake during those hours, and I could have bet it. But I think this makes sense. I really do. What up, Jack Reinhardt? Great to see you. Okay, so we have Jose over at 7.5 at plus 102, and Machado over 1.5 bases at plus 127. Dodgers versus righties, 251, 773 OPS. Padres, 236, 712 OPS. Let's go over to the cash and see where the cash is in this game. We have 62% of the tickets and 47% of the cash on the Dodgers. We have 49% of the tickets and 61% of the cash on the under, but 7 to 7.5. We don't know when those bets came in, so
still early too.
Yeah, still early. How many tickets are we talking at this point in that game? In the Dodgers game, we have just 4,000 tickets in.
Yeah, I literally I was refreshing the page the whole time for these player props too, so they literally just popped up too. So definitely go get them now while you can.
I like it. There he is, Jose. He's down and out. He's in the gutter, and he'll stay there if he keeps losing.
I will. And guess what, Jimmy? Venezuela got their ship pumped last night. 10-7.
Yeah, we didn't need to ask. We knew.
Yeah, it was bad. Guess what? By the way, Jimmy, here's your Olympic baseball. Bet all the overs in these games. By the way, the over was the total in that game was 11. They're in elevation higher than Colorado, significantly higher than Colorado. Bet all of the overs in those games. Netherlands versus Venezuela today. They're gonna win today. Then they're gonna fucking beat the Netherlands again, and then they're gonna beat the Dominican Republic, and I'm gonna cry.
May the baseball gods bless your action, and may we get you out of that ditch that you find yourself in nightly. We love you, Jose. Best of luck tonight, late. Over 7.5 is a Jose Say play of the day, and over 1.5 bases for Manny Machado. Matty Ice is on the first 5 over 3.5. First 5 over 3.5. Why don't we just take a look at what the movement is there in the first 5 total? Move over there. First 5 total in the Dodgers game. 3.5, quite juiced. A 3-cent move to the over 3.5. 3-cent move. Sterling Gentry says no sticky stuff for pitchers. Yeah, I've been comfortably cashing unders, and we have the man making unders great again for many years now. Noli knows has been making unders great again. I think that the taint play of the day is a nice look. Both bullpens are so strong right now. I think the taint play of the day, especially after what the lefties did to them, now they get 2 righties without spider tack. I think that I should tail the taint play of the day. Now, let's just see if we have any information on first 5s. I haven't been doing this. I might. Yeah, there's not enough tickets in to do this. So I might not bet it after the game's over, but I'm very, very interested in taint. Very, very interested in taint. All right, that is our MLB card, and we hit our high watermark last night after a 5-2 night, 2.80 units. We're 167 and 135, hitting at 55.3%, plus 14.59 units, ROI plus 4.83%, and the average line still an issue at minus 112. So I plan to stay off, and I'm going to have to make the decision soon, stay off the Nationals here. And I'm not sure if we have Troutwham joining us from Vegas. He might be knee-deep in the sauce after last night. I'm not sure if he's going to be joining us, so we might keep that on our own. And then we have the great Mr. Ghost joining us for NHL. We only have 17 minutes left, so I got to speed this up. Time was flying. The first 5 money line on the Diamondbacks, I don't know if I want to go up against Woodruff. I am going to take that first 5 under 4 in the Giants-Angels game. And I have interest in the Angels' first 5. And I don't know if I'm going to pull the trigger. When I make the bets, I'll put them out on Twitter as I do them. But at this point, that first 5 under 4 in Giants-Angels will be on my card. Then that Colorado first 5 is a lean right now. I can't do it, though. I just can't do it. I can't take a Colorado team playing this poorly, even if they smash lefties. And Marquez has been so bad on the road. I just can't do it. The first 5 under 5.5 in Baltimore, I'm going to pull the trigger on. Astros, Orioles, I'm going to pull the trigger on. The Royals first 5 at plus 130 interests me very much with Duffy. Braves, Mets was no bet. Loshak's low-hanging fruit on Red Sox Rays over 5. First 5 is a good-looking spot. And the Marlins' first 5 makes a ton of sense to me. Nutflush Allen says Halo's bats looked god-awful last night. I don't imagine they're going to get better with Gaussman. The A's full game -1, I've got tremendous fear over. I expect to tail the taint. So I expect Dodgers, Padres, first 5 over 3.5 to be on my card. What I know for sure is that first 5, I know for sure that the first 5 under 4 in Angels, Giants, and the first 5 under 5.5 in Astros, Orioles will be on my card. I know that for sure. This was a really tricky baseball card that took us a lot of time to get through. Let's move on to in the Marlins first 5. I find interesting. They're the first 5 dogs in like the Marlins, a first 5 dog in the Royals, both appeal to me, and I may move on them. And I quite likely will move on them. You know what? The Marlins first 5 just makes so. I'm going to take that off as a lean. I'm going to take the Marlins first 5. The Marlins just saw Robbie Ray, and I know they don't smash lefties, but Rogers is lights out right now. Okay, so first 5 Marlins is now a move. Okay, let's move on to NBA, and we have Mr. Ghoster joining us for NHL here, and we'll talk quickly in NBA so we can have time for NHL. East Finals Game 1. Atlanta Hawks 41-31, 16-20 on the road in the regular season have turned into a juggernaut. At Milwaukee Bucks 46-26, 26-10 at home. We're at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's take a look at the odds and then take a look at where the money lies at this point. Here we go. The Bucks open up at 7.5. They moved to 8. Pinnacles just moved them to 8.5. So the Bucks are big favorites right now. Big favorites. The total opened up at 227, and it's dropping. It's 226. Bet Online and Bodog just moved it to 225.5. The regular season pace for the Hawks was 22nd in the league at 98.68. In the playoffs, it's dropped a little bit to 97.67. In the regular season, the Bucks pace was second in the league behind the Wizards at 102.85 possessions a game. And in the playoffs, they've slowed down significantly to 97.61 possessions a game. The Bucks pace would elevate fast when Antetokounmpo was not on the court, which was always something that was very interesting. Sharp Money says, I'm with you, Turnsy. Love the Hawks to come out hot. +8 looks generous. And Vital says, love it, Jimmy. Rogers legit, make it. Yeah. Steve saying it's Frankie. And it's Frankie. Sandler says, ESPN has Bucks winning tonight at 70.3%. The big thing at this point in the playoffs to me is that the Bucks have had one extra day rest, and it's a big day. And Antetokounmpo looked good against the Hawks during the regular season. Trae Young sat out twice with injuries in the 3 games they played each other. Milwaukee has beaten the Hawks in 11 of the last 13 meetings, but we know that this is a different Atlanta Hawks squad. On the spread, 63% of the tickets are on the Hawks, but just 33% of the cash. And that's a very small amount of tickets, by the way. 2,774. So let's not take too much into this. But of these first 2,700 tickets, we have on the money line 31% of the bets on the Hawks, 10% of the cash. And the total has 61% of the tickets on the under and 53% of the cash. But again, a very small amount of tickets in, so let's not take too much of that. Dante DiVincenzo gone after left ankle surgery. I'm not high on DiVincenzo. I do like the amount that they're paying him at that price point. I think he's quite helpful. DeAndre Hunter, meniscus surgery in the right knee, gone. And the question is, can Cam Reddish come back from that right Achilles injury? Johnny K says Hawks. Wyatt Chapman says Bogdanovich props. Astute Chaos on Atlanta. Milwaukee first half under 114.5 and under 113.5. 2 different looks there. Okay. Let's continue. Antetokounmpo was second to KD among all second-round participants, 223 points, but he went 8 for 31 from 3, 25.8%. 90 rebounds were the most of any player in the quarters. Young was 5th in scoring with 203 points. He led assists with 76, was 3rd in steals with 12. It is, as Loshak was talking about yesterday in the playoffs in NBA, things become quite clear as the series goes on, and game ones are tricky. I find it very interesting that the Bucks have moved to 8.5, but I think that extra day of rest is very, very helpful for Milwaukee. Very, very helpful. Joey Yurkovich says, my play today, Astros Orioles, first 5 under 5.5. Attaboy, Joey. I like hearing that. Piker says, letdown spot for Atlanta. They'll need to adjust second half because they're going to get steamrolled in the first half. Bucks -4.5 first half. Go over there, first half. And the 4.5s are going to be gone soon. 5s are on the board at Bodog, Bookmaker, Bet Online, and Sports Interaction. The first half total has gone from 115 to 114. Robert Cherry says, if the Hawks come out and the Bucks down first half, what the Bucks going to do? The Bucks can't shoot lights out. I don't know who they play, but the Hawks can keep quiet. Wyatt says Bucks come out like zombies. First quarter Bucks. Robin says my only concern for the Hawks is who stops Giannis and Middleton. Otter on the over says opposite logic for me. Hawks early, fatigue late. Bucks early letdown. That makes a ton of sense to me, Otter. That makes a ton of sense to me. So, not saying that the Bucks first half won't cash, but I wonder if Hawks first quarter is a look coming in with no pressure, as clearly the market indicates. First quarter on the Hawks right now, you're getting 2.5, and it's moving to 3. It's now 3. +3 on Atlanta. Very, very interesting. Okay, this is going to take more time for me to study, but first quarter at +3 is quite interesting for Atlanta. Don't forget our Pub Hub NBA playoffs Pub Hub, 4 o'clock Eastern, starring Dutch Boy Fresh, Ski Profit, Babano, and C-Mac, 4 p.m. Eastern today. Robert says, yeah, I'm on the Hawks, +2.5 first quarter, bet it already. And Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play today is on the Blue Jays -115. That does concern me. All right, sorry we didn't have more time on NBA. That is my fault. We were hammering this baseball card so hard just because of the enormous success we've had in baseball of late, and I apologize. All right, Puzzler says Milwaukee last 3 home games, first quarter is all under 50 total points. So I took first quarter under 51.5 at +265 in a large bet. But Atlanta does score well in the first quarter, so beware. Thank you for that. That's very, very interesting. Okay, we move on to NHL Stanley Cup semifinals, Game 6, and we bring on Belleville, Ontario's finest, Mr. Gokster in the house. Gokster, what's happening, my man? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Jimmy? What's going on, fellas? How are we doing today?
We could be witnessing the final game in Nassau Veterans Memorial Coliseum here. Let's talk about a couple things and then hear your breakdown. First off, look, Game 5 was a train wreck. Lightning took the lead 45 seconds in, led 3-0 after 1, 6-0 after 2. Yeah. 3 power play goals, outshot New York 42-21, blocked 13 shots. Islanders get to go back to Nassau, where they're 21-4-3 during the regular season, 5-3 so far in the playoffs.
Yep.
And Barry Trotz is the perfect man for this job. So Barry Trotz said that his message to the team was simple. He reminded them how hard it is to get far in the pursuit of a Stanley Cup championship. Yep. He reminded them about how they lost to the Lightning in last year's conference finals. He said, how much do you want to commit to have one shot to go to the Stanley Cup finals? How much are you willing to commit? Kept saying that over and over to the boys. Trotz was in a similar position 3 years ago when he led Washington Stanley Cup championship. They were down 3-2 against Tampa in the Eastern Conference Finals, heading home for Game 6. They won that one. Then they won Game 7. The Islanders have bounced back several times in the postseason. They trailed after 3 games in each series. They won 3 straight to beat Pittsburgh. They did it again to Boston. What the hell happens here, Gokster?
Jesus, the script seems like it might repeat itself, eh, Jim?
Well, we do know that in a situation like this, the public will be all over what they just saw. And they just saw Lightning run a train on the Islanders, but the market isn't displaying that. Islanders opened up at +140. They're now +131. Tampa opened up at -159. They're now -145. So let's just see where the cash is quickly. 4,000 tickets, not a lot of tickets in. 50% of the tickets on the money line on each side, 69% of the cash on the Lightning, 61% of the tickets on the over, 81% of the cash on the over. Gokster, lead us to cash, baby.
Ooh, I like that. 69% of the money on Tampa Bay, but the line's moving in New York Islanders' favor. Let's go. Yeah, the Islanders play really good hockey at home, guys. They don't mess around, like Jimmy said, really good in the regular season, and I have a hard time shying away from them at home here, guys. They're getting production from all their lines. They have 3 guys here that have scored 3 goals or more in the playoffs at home. That's Barzell, Clutterbuck, Nielsen, Pollock, and Palmieri. That's a defenseman, a 4th liner, a 1st liner, and a 2nd liner. So they're getting production from all around the whole team. You know, it's not just a couple guys. They're getting 4 lines, they're getting defense, they're getting the whole 9 yards. Issue with Tampa Bay too, Jim, is Cernak and Ruda. Cernak tried to have the morning skate. I just looked up before the show, and he didn't exactly go. He had to be taken off the ice within a couple minutes. So it doesn't look like Eric Cernak's going to be going. So looking like Braden Shen's going to have another chance to go as the third defensive pairing. But
Luke.
Sorry, Luke. What did I say? Braden? My bad.
No.
Sorry, Luke Shen, Braden. Yeah, my bad. So the issue there without Cernak and Ruda, who took that high stick from Barzell, pretty weak high stick if you ask me. The guy should be fine, but he wasn't on the morning skate as well. So if you're having two defensive defensive players out for Tampa Bay here, guys, that's not a good sign against this New York Islander team that have scored 3 goals in the first, 14 in the second, and 11 in the third. They're night and day compared to home and road. It's been like a lot of these teams. Montreal's a much better road team than this New York Islander team is, especially Varlamov, guys. Varlamov, he got pulled. He did not look good. Then they had to leave Sorokin in net. He took a high shot, too, on that 4th goal by Kucherov right in the collarbone. And he didn't want to throw Varlamov back in there, knowing that, you know what, we throw Varlamov back in here, we're not going to look good going into Game 6. So he stayed in the net. That's why that game went 8-0. They kind of just, after Varlamov got pulled in that bad shot from Sorokin in the shoulder, you know it was going south quick after it was 4-0. So they got a healthy Varlamov. He looked fine on the bench there. Just didn't have a good game in Game 1, guys. He's much better at home. The only issue is high danger chances for Varlamov is a bit of an issue. But if you look at what Tampa Bay's done, their 2 games at New York, guys, they've had 1 high danger chance on the road. That's it. They've had 7 medium in Game 4 and 5 in Game 3. Look at New York Islanders. They've had 5 high danger chances in Game 4 at home, 4 high danger chances in Game 3, and a total of 15 medium danger chances in both of those games combined. So they're the team that you're going to see Tampa Bay did last night. The Islanders are going to do that to them tonight, guys. That's where I'm rolling with the first period. New York Islanders plus 121. Team total over New York Islanders 2.5 at plus 126. Only issue there is Tampa Bay have only allowed on the road. This is the issue, guys. Where are we here? Sorry. 1-1-0-3-1. So they've been really good on the road, but they haven't scored much, only scoring no more than around 2 goals a game. So look for the Islanders to jump all over them, guys. I don't want to confuse you too much more, but I think Islanders are going to be all over them, Jim. Don't look for Tampa Bay to score in the first period either. I think it's going to be a much better defensive performance. Varlamov is not going to give up a goal in the first period, even though the stats would say this is where Tampa Bay has the advantage in the first. Look for Tampa Bay not to score in the first period, guys. You get that at plus 122 at Pinnacle. Team total over New York Islanders 2.5 plus 122, and the Islanders in the first period, Jim, 121. What do you think, buddy?
I like it a lot. I like the Islanders first period a lot. It's funny. After we capped the game yesterday, I was like, God, how do I not bet on the Habs? But I just didn't want to put my stink on the Habs. This is a little different here. I think you're absolutely right with the Islanders first period. Luke Shen is someone I love, and I was so angry that the Canucks didn't re-sign. He would have signed for the minimum, and of course we said no. He's a character guy, and he'll stand up. We had good Branson with the Canucks, and he wouldn't stand up. He wouldn't fight. If someone got hurt on our team, he wouldn't fight that guy. He would only fight when it was worked out for him. He's he sucks. Yeah. But Luke Shen would always stand up for his teammates, and he's a heart and soul guy. What I think could happen here is the Islanders go up 2-0 or 3-1 in this game.
The barn's rocking.
The Lightning start taking serious shots at the Islanders players, real hard, borderline shots. That's what I think.
Yeah.
And Luke Shen is somebody who will hurt somebody.
The only issue is he slow though, Jim?
He's slow.
He's slow. That's my only issue is if seeing him getting burned. I don't know how much he's going to play, but and one thing too with Tampa Bay guys, they're a little top heavy on the road. Kucherov, Point, Stamkos, Killorn, they have a shitload of points overall. But if you look at what they do on the road, Kucherov has only 8 points of the total 27. Point has 7 of his 18, and Stamkos only has 4 points of a possible 17 on the road. So these guys don't perform nearly as good as they do on the road, guys. And like I said, 5 players that score 3 goals or more at home for the Islanders. Not to mention, Wahlstrom could be back, a young guy, a lot of firepower. Oliver Wahlstrom, good young guy there. He could be back in the lineup. That could be a boost. And there's only 3 players, too, that have been in the negative plus-minus all year at home in the playoffs for New York Islanders. That's Eberle, Komarov, and Dobson. Other than that, everyone on this Islander team play really good at home. That's why I really like this team total under for the Tampa Bay Lightning first period. And like Jimmy said, New York Islanders to come out early, first period plus 121.
I like it. Trotzy's just going to have him so fired up. Yeah. God, I love him.
You said he's been there, baby. 3-2. He's like, fuck, we're going back home. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. and then just repeating over and over again, how much do you want to commit?
Yeah,
How
exactly.
much do you want to commit? Like, I just love that shit. Spectacular stuff. Sorry we didn't have more time for you, Mr. Gokster. Islanders first period sounds like a spot that I need to tail and likely will. I also think that the Hawks first quarter is a very interesting look, but I'll let this market keep hammering the Bucks and see what it comes out to. Mr. Gokster, absolutely great work. Absolutely.
Appreciate it, guys.
Nobody's Nerfic says Luke Shen is not Larry Murphy slow. He's pretty close, but I love Luke Shen. I would, for the minimum, those are the kind of guys you need on your team for the minimum. I mean, it's just absolutely great stuff. Okay, you guys, we went a minute over our time. Jump over right now to the Babano CMAC show, MLB show. Don't forget, 4 p.m. Pub Hub NBA, 4 p.m. Eastern, and it's a spectacular show that those guys are doing. Dutch Boy Fresky, Prophet, CMAC, and Babano. And then at 7 p.m. or 7:30, I always fucked that up, sorry. But tonight, Razor Sharp Picks Horse Racing Show. I'll be on for the last 4 races of Emerald Downs. So, check out these shows, these great shows, and support Pub Sports Radio, a company that I'm just very proud to be a part of. Mr. Gokster, my man, can you please let the guys know where they can find you on Twitter, and let's get us out of here.
All right, guys. Thanks for everyone here. Quick shout out to everyone: Turnsy, Mike, Robert Allen, Sterling, Northender, Chris. The whole gang here. Johnny K, Neil. We'll keep getting that cash, guys. And as always, Leche, Elos, bookmakers, get that cash, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.